this is still very hard. It's been a year and it's still hard to talk about it.
This woman is one of the countless marriage fraud victims in Canada. Marriage fraud is a delicate yet serious issue that can no longer be ignored. Marriage fraud occurs when dishonest and immoral individuals take advantage of the trust, love, and resources of average Canadians simply to get into the country.
I got engaged 2 years ago and back home. My mom, my family basically, they found a girl, and then they told me, look, this is how exactly she looks like. They sent me a picture, and then I saw her picture, and then I started calling her an email.
My two friends that were with me, they met him and they loved him. They thought what a great guy he was.
Like just the kind of guy that you would like to marry.
There was no reason for me to believe that she was anything different than what she was telling me.
I know now that he fooled everybody.
I applied for, like kind of sponsorship kind of things. I gather information, all kind of documentation process, and I completed everything for her. I paid like immigration, sponsorship fees.
On the May 6th, when I went to the airport, I saw a different person. It wasn't the person that I'd seen before.
His behavior was changing, and I couldn't figure it out. I thought that maybe it was because he was adjusting to the new country, so I thought, okay, I'll give him time and things will be okay. He was here only 2 weeks. He got a job, so I thought that's good. He's going to work and all that kind of stuff. And then one day when I got home at the end of January, he was gone.
Every light in the house was on, and I was going through the house and calling her name. Every room's closet, everywhere I was looking. I went to the closet for a third time, and then I realized that her belonging was gone. I was in shock. I didn't know what to make of it.
And as if the emotional harm wasn't enough, the government further victimizes the victims by harming them financially.
Even though that person has left, that sponsor is still responsible for them for 3 years if they go on social assistance.
Technically, we're just stuck with them. So for 1 year, he was on welfare, and now I owe the government $8,000.
My 29 years of life, it's gone. Like I spent like 40 grand on this stupid relationship. Like emotionally, financially, she destroyed me. She ran away. She off the scene now. She got what she wanted, and that's it.
The government doesn't want to go and investigate it, and they said it's too much money.
Government is giving this message: don't become a victim, because if you are a victim, there is no help for you.
Canada does in fact have a law against marriage fraud, enshrined in our Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. Section 4 of this law, under the heading Bad Faith, clearly states, no foreign national shall be considered as the spouse of a Canadian if the marriage is not genuine or was entered into primarily for the purposes of acquiring Canadian statuses or privileges. Before entering Canada, an immigrant must sign a legal declaration agreeing to deportation or imprisonment if the marriage intent is not genuine.
So it's pretty much clear here. Then the main concern is like why the government is not implementing their own declaration, their own act. That's our main concern.
Victims of marriage fraud have nowhere and no one to turn to except each other. Online organizations such as stopmarriagefraud.ca were created by victims for victims, and they provide guidance and comfort.
We receive almost 4 or 5 emails during 1 week. Really, there is nothing for victims, and we became a base for victims to come forward, and that gives some maybe healing to some people, like being able to share with others.
On January 4th, 2007, Diane Finlay was appointed Canada's new Minister of Citizenship and Immigration. Neither Finlay nor any of her ministry representatives were willing to speak with us today. Nevertheless, marriage fraud victims continue to raise awareness in the hopes that Finlay will take notice and action to stop marriage fraud for good in Canada. I'm Margaret Mercer.